Welcome to the Info Drop Show. Pure knowledge for your mind.
Welcome to the Info Drop, guys. I'm your host, Sarge, with secondary host, Davo.
How y'all doing?
And
I plan to be. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
I plan to be, the end for this show. If there's any boots on the ground work that we need done, I'm more than likely will be headed there. We don't know what we're doing to start off. But later on we'll probably be live. Probably do these live, but right now we're just sticking to recording. But yeah.
Yeah, recording and uploading. All right. So, current world events is our topic number one. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Well, one that we talked about earlier was that there's a search warrant out for Vladimir Putin, which that was interesting to me. I kind of want to expand on that.
Yeah.
So apparently Vladimir there's a search warrant sent out from Ukraine saying that he committed a war crime. He deported thousands of Ukrainian children, and which is a war crime. Sarge, do you think anything is going to come from this, or is this just war propaganda? What is this?
Well, my opinion, and I'm reading right here, where Putin states that he's not worried about that warrant because, well, the country of Russia and the country of Mongolia, which is the country that is everybody's asking to do the arresting, they're good. According to this, they have good international ties.
Oh yeah, and there's the only way you're getting Vladimir is if you go in by force. We've seen throughout history with the Russians that they, right now they're keeping away Snowden. I'm sure you know him. I'm sure the audience knows about Snowden.
Yeah, Edward Snowden.
Which is an interesting topic. We can expand on it if you want, but if you don't want to, we don't have to. But
we can expand on that later.
I don't think anything's going to come from this. Just mainly because Vladimir Putin has proven time and time again that he's pretty much untouchable when it comes to, foreign affairs.
Well,
and yeah, that's just my thought on that. I don't think anyone should take that serious.
Yeah, Putin ain't getting arrested. The International Criminal Court can order it all they want, but that man is, like you said, pretty much untouchable.
Right. Are there any Russia-Ukraine updates?
Nothing recently other than a Russian civilian car was destroyed by Ukrainian strike.
Oh yeah, there's actually a video of that. Do you want me to show you? We might get banned if we show it on screen, but I can show you, Sarge.
If it ain't too graphic, I don't see the issue. I can see the footage right here myself.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome.
I was talking about with the whole Anunnaki deal. That's all one big topic, pretty much.
We can get into it.
Well, okay, dive on into the Anunnaki.
I'm aware that there's very broad general history there, but if you've ever heard of the Michelson-Morley experiment, how it works?
No, I'm actually not familiar with that particular.
Well, he did a test with light, and it kind of proved that the ether could persist in the modern day, albeit through fringe circles or anyways. I've been seeing claims that that the ether does exist. I don't want to be the guy that say it does or doesn't, but could there be an alternate definition for the ether that
Well,
You know,
like another word for it.
right?
Okay.
Or actually, you can just go ahead and introduce what the ether is.
Well, the ether is more or less a simple way to explain it would be just a particular energy frequency that's just there. It's everywhere pretty much, and according to the Anunnaki and according to the ancient Egyptians, the what they referred to as the ether. It's another other terms, of course, in their cultures and different cultures. But it's got like the pyramids, for instance. There's sites across the world where it may be more of a influence there, which gives reason why they say the pyramids were big energy creators. I mean, big power stations. I mean, there's even claim that the pyramids got their power from a geothermal source underground. I mean, that I actually just recently watched or learned about. But the ether is more or less a frequency. It's like it's just energy, but it's energy that contains all the knowledge. But that knowledge does have a source. The ether comes from somewhere, and well, it goes further and further.
Yeah, and you can kind of scientists in the past they had to have some sort of knowledge of the ether
Well,
whenever through through telephones
or
and other
radios,
broadband.
any type of thing like that.
Right.
If you're transmitting data in general, think about it. Data, Wi Fi, you're transmitting information through the air. Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that uh, ability is there. It's just, we don't know. See, every humans operate on a different band than those type of radio waves and stuff like that. Band is I don't know the band per se. I just know that's what's speculated.
Yeah, and some people try to tie it in with a religious afterlife. If anyone here is religious, um, they say it's sort of the perfect substance of the heavens. The earth has four elements already. The ether would be the fifth, and but they say that the heavens were perfect, so the only substance they needed was ether, and that's what the Greeks thought. That's what the Romans thought, and it's tying in today. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I think it was very interesting that they knew that much back then, because we've lost a lot of history through fires and invasions and
Well, yeah, a lot
stuff like
of the knowledge was lost.
right, right. So I think it's still kind of cool that we can tie that back to the Greeks and like the that predates now, because
Yeah.
I see now it's coming up a lot.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's really starting to make a comeback. It's the reason I wanted to talk about the topic because, I mean, Billy Carson's been talking about it recently. The Cat Williams show. I don't know how old that exactly was, but
So I have a question for you,
okay.
Sarge. Do you think the ether could prove magic could possibly exist either now or in the future or even in the past?
Well, magic in reality is not like it's not like you see on TV or reading the books. It's more science based. It's chemical reactions. It's different thing. I mean, people. If you take today's science and you travel about 200 years in the past, or even 1,000 years in the past, and you present that to the current population, and they'll call you a magician, a sorcerer, a witch. I mean, yeah, there are powers and abilities beyond our comprehension. Yes, I mean, you have,
And
yeah.
yeah, you can keep going. Sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, and back then, the word magic was like you said, it wasn't poof make you disappear, right?
Yeah.
We've seen like in the Salem witch trials, pretty much anyone that they didn't like, they would, say you're a witch, and they would just throw that. So I don't really think you can use the Salem witch trials to prove magic exists.
No, they were just
Well,
simply like using herbs and spices as healing and stuff. That's more or less what
yeah,
happened then, as far as we know.
maybe a little cocaine in there too.
I don't know about all that.
But
But yeah, the Aether is a very interesting topic. It's not a very talked about topic because there's so much speculation, and according to what you said, some scientists, physicists have attempted to disprove it.
yeah, but there's just not enough research there
No,
to
it's
really
not
say
very
one
talked
way.
about. So, and that leads to the possibility of this free energy. The it's the same energy more or less. I mean, there's energy everywhere. Static electricity is around you. Nikola Tesla tried to harness it and tried to give the world free energy, and they killed him, more or less. They took all his stuff, and the man died poor and with nothing. So
What I think is
even if they didn't kill him physically, they killed him, spiritually, I guess.
right, and we've seen time and time again, how the government uses people, and once you're no longer needed, you're done. Um, Tesla sold lots of unclassified inventions to the French, um, and America didn't like that.
No,
Um, the free energy as well. Um, why are we paying for energy?
well,
That's a good question.
yeah, that's where Tesla was coming. I mean, that's where he comes in. It's he didn't see why anybody should be paying for something that is pretty much a natural resource.
Right.
I mean, electricity is a natural resource, a renewable resource. It creates itself. It's however energy can never be destroyed.
Right. Um, that actually kind of leads into what I want to talk about. Um,
All right, shoot.
sort of resolving the universe and things of that nature. I'm sure you've seen, came out a couple days ago. Um, this company called Reflect Orbital.
Left orbit.
They're they're allegedly or supposedly selling sunlight.
Oh yeah.
So seriously, the idea is that you can open your app at night, click a button. They use a satellite. They beam light on your exact position so you can see in the dark. Where do we where do we see this going? Do we see this actually happening, or is this what do we expect to come from this?
Um, that's it's called. All right, you said the company is called Reflect Orbital.
Right. Reflect orbital. Reserve a spot of light. It's
Okay,
the
there we go.
radius. Apparently, their radius would be 5 kilometers for 4 minutes.
Reflect Orbital Company. They're providing space-based solar power generation solutions. So essentially, what you're referring to mirrors, solar panels, but in space.
In space. Yeah.
Yeah, the mirrors.
Um.
Yeah, but I'd be concerned about those mirrors,
Yeah.
honestly.
I don't think it's a good idea. The thing is, right? I do like that these companies are getting started and they're only focusing on one thing, right? Because no one knew who Reflect Orbital was, but they're a
Oh,
company that is solely
all right. Check this out. I just learned something new. Something you may not
yeah,
know. The platform develops solar panels to provide sunlight to existing solar panels. The mirrors. I get it now.
okay.
You could pretty much charge a satellite on the other side of the planet that's in or actually beam sunlight to solar panels on solar farms using mirrors at night. Wow, that is
Very
very interesting.
interesting. I don't see a world where that's needed. You know what I mean? Like we
I
have
see a
light.
death ray.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, that would be
You
fun. That would be fun. I mean, sticking with the Tesla and and such. I mean, I don't even know where to go with the free energy stuff. I mean,
it,
what's your opinions?
it's definitely a saturated topic just
Yeah,
because it's energy will never be free,
no,
right?
not really, unless you make your own invention, I guess, and don't tell
Well,
nobody about it.
well, you know the government is very greedy. Um,
They gonna get theirs, but
but I will say this. I will say this about free energy.
okay.
I love the idea. Um, I'm not that informed on Tesla's free energy, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
studied for
there's
a lot of his inventions, but
um, there's actually you can buy one on Amazon. It's a Tesla coil.
yeah, I've had one.
It transfers energy.
Yeah, it
It's
pretty
kind of
much
like
it takes
it's
static
like wireless,
electricity.
right?
It
And
generates
it's
static.
yeah.
I've seen a
Um,
full size one, come on. Like I seen one in real life, a big one. They're loud. Yeah, those are just cool. I mean, I don't see there's no practical use of the Tesla coil, honestly.
other than a science project for
That's all it
fifth
is a
grade.
science project. I mean, it takes energy to make it work. I mean, it don't generate its own power. It don't suck power out of the air around it like Tesla envisioned. At least the one he built. I don't even know if it did or not. There's no written knowledge, I don't suppose, on that. If it actually worked or not.
Yeah,
I believed it did.
I'm looking right here. It says that Tesla believed that the Earth had fluid electrical charges running beneath its surface that, when interrupted by a series of electrical discharges at repeat set intervals, would generate a limitless power supply by generating immense low frequency electrical waves. Hmm.
I mean, I've read that, yeah, about the underground electricity. I mean, it's well
And I'm sure
that
you've heard.
now hold on a minute. You may be onto something. I just connected the dots on something.
Right.
All right, you said electrical frequency, electrical charges underground, fluid ones. Okay.
Right.
What did I say earlier about the pyramids using a underground power source to generate its electricity? They said geothermal, but what if it wasn't geothermal? I mean, no knowledge of any known geothermal sites in that general area of Egypt.
Um.
So could be onto something with that. Let's
Yeah.
say the ancient civilizations knew so much more than we give them credit for.
Oh yeah. And that ties back to what we said earlier. There may be things that we won't find out that you know the people that predated us knew because we lost so much in fires and
Well, with the destruction of the Library of Alexandria, or the Library of Alexander, it
oh, yeah.
yeah, a lot of knowledge was lost there, and along with, I mean, now there's still some knowledge that can be found. These ancient stone tablets, like for instance, you have the Emerald Tablet, which I was just recently studying, claimed to have been written by um, the Anunnaki and stuff, and those individuals. The
and
claimed
and
deities that they had back then. I mean, what was one of them's name? Thon, something like that. It's one of the Egyptian deities.
um yeah. apparently it's supposed to contain the secrets of alchemy.
There's your magic.
Right. But I mean,
There's so much you don't that people won't know.
says the origins of the Emerald Tablet are unclear, but it's believed to date back to the early centuries of the Common Era, which some sources suggesting it may have been written in Arabic in the 8th or 9th century. So this is way back. And this is sort of a gray area because no one like, you know, tells these, or like no one follows these discoveries, I guess, because they just brush it off.
Well, I mean, you get so far back, some people just quit caring. I mean,
Well,
but this guy Billy Carson. That man, that's what he's known for is studying ancient Egyptian history and the Anunnaki. And it just keeps going on and on. Aliens. I mean, it even goes to that. I mean, the Anunnaki were also people think they may have been extraterrestrials. I mean, because they gave the ancients a lot of knowledge and technology that the people thought were impossible for the ancients to know back then.
and um as you can see back with Aristotle, I love him. I love all the Greek philosophers back then. But the main thing that stuck with me with Aristotle, he published a book, or I'm not sure it was a book back then, but
Yeah.
it was on the scribe, and it was he was predicting the future, right? And
Okay.
I'll add it. We'll add it in the description, so any y'all want to check it out. But
Yeah.
he pretty much predicted that once the human race is completely, you know, depleted, which is going to happen, um, that there would be robots, and he didn't say that verbatim, but I can look it up more. But he kind of did predict it, which kind of lets me parlay into AI. Do you think that AI is getting too advanced, and is there a point where we need to have restrictions against AI? Because people like Aristotle warned us about them so many years ago.
Well, when you get to talking about AI, I mean, look at how many warnings we've gotten about AI from people like Elon Musk, for instance. He's warned us about it. I think Bill Gates may have warned us about it, and I believe Stephen Hawking even warned us about it before he passed.
Yeah, and
All the great minds are warning of AI because AI, once you get so advanced, who's to say that
it's advancing rapidly too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying you go online, you see AI almost everywhere. I mean, you have AI search, you have AI image generators on almost every picture editor out there now. I mean, it's so mainstream that I mean, everybody's becoming really comfortable with AI being a part of their life, their everyday life now. So, but then you got to go once you get so far, when AI gets so smart, when it starts wanting to learn on its own, that's when you need to start being concerned. When you have AI willingly seeking knowledge on its own without no outside influence, well, that's just a step towards these dystopian societies that you see in science fiction movies now.
Yep, like just like Metropolis, by Franz Lang. It sort of gives you an idea of the forecast for today's cultural and economic setting. Audacious leadership. You see what we have.
Yeah.
um, you know, it reflects people's imagination of good and bad science. But what I will say about the AI and just how quick it is advancing, they said two and a half years ago, you know, they said it's like magic, right? 2.5 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So in another 2.5 years from now, you know, I think the human countdown is or at least to irrelevance is
I
starting.
mean, my curiosity is what does AI what's AI's role when it comes to the inevitable end? What AI is going to play a role in this? I don't know how, but it's pretty much inevitable because AI isn't going anywhere. It's here to stay. AI is it's only going to get more powerful.
Right.
Man
And
has
everything,
created intelligence.
yeah, and everything that man has made always has its flaws, right? Because humans always have this superiority factor. Um so who's to say that the AI won't, you know, pick up on this? And but anyways, everything I've read, we're about 5 to 7 years away from AGI, which is basically when it's supposed to be as smart as us.
All right.
Maybe a little bit longer if there's some kind of regulation. But in
Well,
the meantime, AI will be able to argument. We'll have an argument on a lot of things that we do.
oh yeah.
But
Well, I just asked artificial intelligence a question. I
okay.
asked it. Well, hold on. I'll just pull it up for you. Let me switch over to my view
While
here.
you're doing while you're doing that, I do want to say that society doesn't always move at the same speed as technology, right? So if AI is advancing faster than humans, we may not be old enough to remember, but you know, several years ago, there's a product called Segway, where Steve Jobs from Apple and the others said it was such a great leap forward in technology that cities will be built around them. A couple years later, their CEO road ran one off a cliff to his death.
Hmm.
Today, the only people you see riding Segways are tourist groups and mall cops. So I guess what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say is pretty much unknown how soon this technology will actually make it through society or and make it into our workplaces. That's maybe my main issue with AI is jobs. So we need humans, we need jobs, we need money to provide for have children and things like that. But
Well, the current artificial intelligence threat, according to AI, it says here that artificial intelligence (AI) it poses a number of potential threats, which it does. Job automation, of course, AI is taking people's jobs. So it's in the workforce. Of course, AI can be used to generate fake propagandic content. It can be used to spread misinformation. Who knows if maybe one day AI wants to spread its own misinformation.
right, and
AI
who's
powered weaponry. You have artificial intelligence in guns, tanks, planes, any type of super advanced high tech weaponry now has a version of AI installed in it. Now that in itself just sounds ridiculous, but according to this, it's a known fact.
yeah, and people
Apparently,
that use AI are outperforming people that aren't using AI.
uh,
So
yeah, it's hard to create your own content anymore without using artificial intelligence to make part of it.
yeah,
I
and
mean, I'm gonna admit, part of this show is got some AI generated pieces to it. Nothing major,
everything
but
everything you see online has some sort of AI behind it.
yeah, I
I
mean,
I don't know why. You guys should know this by now, but everything you see online is more than likely AI generated.
To an extent,
Um,
majority of it is, but
not the whole thing, but there are parts that are
I
AI
mean,
generated.
the lines are becoming blurred between what's real and what isn't real anymore online. I mean, AI could be misused to infringe on human rights. It
Oh, yeah.
enables censorship, surveillance, and discrimination. Actually, I mean, it's a societal hazard.
So
Cyber
do you see?
attacks. AI can be used to create cyber attacks. AI can shut down the global infrastructure at its will if it gets to that dystopian point. I mean, it's just reminiscent of what's that famous AI from the movies? Um,
iRobot?
no, well that yeah, but I'm talking.
iRobot's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a Will Smith movie.
Right.
But there's this famous AI from was it? I think it may be the Terminator. Not the Terminator itself, but there is Skynet. There it is, Skynet.
Okay.
Yeah, see, Skynet was a artificial intelligence supercomputer that controlled everything, more or less. It was attached to all the infrastructure. That's where the cyber AI used to be create cyber attacks. So therefore, yeah, and then it gets even better. AI can be used to create enhanced pathogens. AI can create bioweapons. It can create, who knows? May have even created the coronavirus. I mean, that's a far fetched accusation, but we don't know the truth behind that either still.
Right.
We knew it came from China. China's a pretty high tech, pretty high tech country. They have their own thing.
Right.
AI can be used to manipulate people. Yes, it can. That comes back to human rights. I mean, AI can through. AI is manipulating us right now. Let me give you an example. You go on Facebook or any well-known social media platform. These advertisements you see on your feed, they're they use AI algorithms to you know all this obviously. You know what I'm talking about. But
Oh yeah.
but everybody else may not know. So
Yeah.
what I'm referring to is AI is being used to know who you are, to find out every piece of every detail about your personality, about what you like, everything. Just if everything about you, what's your favorite food, what's your favorite music. And then they feed this information. The AI takes this information, it feeds it into the AI. The information's fed into the AI, and that's how it picks the right advertisement to show you something you're more than likely going to click on. We've all fell for it.
Yeah, and it's sort of getting to the point where we do need regulations for it. Just
Yeah, we need this. Time magazine, March 12th of this year. AI could pose extinction level threat to humans. That was, well, come on now. And that was on one of them liberal platforms.
right, and we know misinformation that gets spread across legacy media,
I
and
mean, I wouldn't, that right there, I don't know if that's true news or fake news,
yeah,
but
well,
they have to throw in some real news every now and then. But all right,
well,
the lack of transparency, AI and deep learning models can be difficult to understand, which can lead to a lack of transparency and explanation for how and why they make their decisions. AIs decide for themselves, not even us humans can understand why it chose that specific decision. That's concerning when you cannot understand how it came up with that answer. I
and
mean,
it's and that's a huge threat to humanity that just doesn't get talked about often enough. Like,
these scientists that create these machines, they're playing God. by creating an intelligence from technology we have, which, oh, I can take you down the rabbit hole with some stuff right there. But we'll get into that in future episodes. But another threat here is global security. I mean, AI can destabilize the planet. It can pan country against country if it so wished. I mean, if it gets so advanced. I mean, the FBI has warned about the increasing threat of it. AI is being used by criminals now. I mean, it's out of control.
Yeah, and Stephen Hawking actually,
He did warn us
um,
about AI. I remember hearing about that.
yeah, and I do want to play a video on screen. We could probably edit it in. It's a 5-minute video. Let me just find the clip that I'm talking about.
Yeah, go for it. But anyways, while you look for that, I guess I can go ahead and talk some more about artificial intelligence. I mean, the regulations, I don't know how you could really regulate AI. I mean, it'd be like you go up to a guy and say, "Hey, you can't use that," or "Hey, you can't create that." But AI is everywhere. I mean, you can't. It's so far fetched now. I mean, there's so many different machines out there, deep learning machines. You can't really keep up with all of them. So, I mean, truth be told, you could, if you had the know-how and whatnot, you could create your own AI right there in your in your home with your home computer. It has that ability.
Oh yeah, yeah, and when it's open source like that, I feel like it's scary because it can be accessed from a 10-year-old named Dylan from his mom's iPad.
Yeah.
But anyways, I did find a clip.
All
Show
right.
it to you.
All right, guys. Let's take a look at this clip here.
Let me know if it's cool.
All right. We're good. Go ahead.
There's a story that scientists built an intelligent computer. The first question they asked it was, "Is there a God?" The computer replied, "There is now."
Holy shit, that's the most terrifying story I've ever heard.
Yes. Artificial intelligence could be a real danger in the not-too-distant future. It could design improvements to itself, but now it's for us all.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race.
Mark my words. AI is far more dangerous than it looks. Far.
There's a
Exactly. My point exactly. It's
So we have a lot to worry about.
I agree. I mean, that's what I was saying. I mean,
We do
AI
need to
is got to be regulated somehow, but the question is how you regulate something so advanced, something that thinks for itself. I mean, I know a lot of the common AI that everyday individuals use is not as advanced, you know.
yeah, that's
It can
this is baby compared to grown adult, right? Right now we're in the baby stages. There is no way you can regulate AI. I just want to say that unless all parties involved agree.
well, you would have to. It would. I mean, if the government's tried to regulate it now, you're gonna have people protesting because it would look like they're impeding on free speech. Because AI itself generates its own speech. It's like its own freedom of speech. I mean, I know, like DAL-E and several other AIs that do like image creation and stuff like that. A lot of those are regulated to an extent with moderation in place. Like you couldn't go and spit out Nazi content using an AI because it all gets shut down. That part is regulated, but the unregulated AI that exists, and it is out there, I've seen it. You can generate some very disturbing content. You can use it to actually, like you can use it to make individuals say things that they didn't say
Right. And
in their own voice at that. I
and I will say this, and the only reason it is regulated now is because it's on a platform, right?
Yeah, the
Um,
mainstream ones are, yeah.
so these platforms are the ones regulating
Yeah,
them.
there is a form of regulation out there in place for the consumer AI, but it's
For
still
open
it's
source,
still
for the open source AI, yeah.
it still bears the question as to the AI being used for mischievous personal gains, like the upcoming election, for instance. AI can play a major role in the decision that is made. And that's a very concerning thing. That comes back to what I was saying. AI can destabilize the world if
Yeah,
it's
and
used in the wrong reasons, wrong purpose.
yeah, Elon Musk actually got a lot of heat for that. He posted what liberals are calling a deep fake.
Yeah.
Um, he posted it. He said it was AI, but it was very real. It's about Kamala Harris
Mm.
and her campaign and things of that nature. Just defamatory towards her, which she kind of deserves. But
Well, that I mean,
you,
this
you know,
is
so we're
a
already seeing
just so
backlash from.
everybody is aware. This is a. I mean, we're not even going to hide it. We are Trump supporters. I mean, just because we have an open mind, yes, but I mean, the man's got a plan.
We're at a fork in the road.
Yeah,
We got to make a decision. We're
and
we're
we
we're back
and
we're
we
back
ha-
into it.
yeah we made our decision. We'll just roll with it.
Right.
I mean, if you hate on us, I don't give a damn. Honestly, that's the part of the
No one should
yeah
ever be ostracized based on their beliefs and
yeah. I
political.
mean, it's freedom of beliefs there.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting how so we're using like the more high ground against AI, which people have proven time and time again we don't have morals. Not everyone doesn't have morals. Somebody wants to be the first person to do it. Someone wants to be the godfather of AI. Someone wants to be the godfather of SGA. Someone wants to be the godfather of all these things. And we know, even in the three-letter departments like the FBI, CIA, they already use AI, and
Oh
it's not
yeah,
open
AI is a crucial part of their cybersecurity
investigation.
now and their investigative side. Yes, it plays a crucial part in anything law enforcement related now. AI is used facial recognition, for instance. AI is used to recognize who you are. If they are looking for you, you go occasionally to go get some gas. Well, that camera just picked your face up,
And
and you
yeah,
can't hide from it. AI is everywhere.
yeah. I had this buddy. Um, he knew a guy that got caught shoplifting. Um, so he went back in the same store and they picked up his face via the facial recognition, and it was just kind of strange because I didn't know they had those. Right, not at least the chain corporate places that around
Well,
where we live.
big corporations now are investing heavily in AI for not only their security, but for inventory management. AI is you go and buy something at a store. No physical person has to do anything. AI sees that barcode was scanned. It takes it out of the inventory list. It does it automatically. It's why that's why they say AI is now in the workforce. It is. I mean, you go shopping, it's there. You go, and it's sad to say, but you go to church, some of these mega churches, AI is there, and
And there's even AI music,
oh
right?
yeah, AI
AI
creates its
music.
own music now. Some of the
It's like
music you see in commercials aren't even created by an individual; they're just generated in a machine using sounds it finds off the internet. I mean, the AI is linked to the deep web. That way, it can receive all the information it needs. When you ask it a question, it knows where to go. I mean, it
Yeah.
AI is essentially the man-made ether. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a
Sure.
know-all machine. I know there's different AIs, but I look at AI as a whole. It's an entity. It's broke down into, I mean, every
its
new
own thing.
creation. It's its
Right.
own thing. It's AI is going to get so advanced that, I mean, you won't know it from the guy sitting right next to you.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Have you
a
heard?
scary dystopian thought, but it's something that everybody needs to really think about. I mean, when you're playing God, you're gonna end up with some results that are not, to your liking, per se. I mean,
Yeah,
simple way to what?
we're already kind of seeing that now. Have you ever heard of the dead internet theory? If I haven't, I'll share my screen and I'll show you. But
No, I'm not familiar with that. Enlighten me.
well, I'll just read the Wikipedia off of it. The dead internet theory is an online conspiracy theory that asserts that the internet now consists mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content, manipulated by algorithm curation to essentially manipulate the population and minimize organic human activity. Proponents of this theory believe these bots were created intentionally to help manipulate algorithms and boost search results in order to manipulate consumers. Some proponents of the theory accuse government agencies of using bots to manipulate public perception. The date given for this death is generally around 2016 or 2017. Do you have
Okay, well
any
I
thoughts
mean,
on the dead internet
I
theory?
have a lot of good thoughts on that one. The dead internet theory, well, honestly, I agree with it. If you go online and say you just go to this random forum or blog, whatever, just a site where folks are commenting, talking, whatnot, you ever stopped and thought, is how many of them individuals are real? Reason I say that, I mean, I'm not saying everybody's fake. Obviously not. Obviously
Everyone's
not.
had that thought. Everyone's had that thought. No.
But I'm gonna use Discord for an example. I mean, look at the bots. The amount of bots that are on these servers. Chat bots. I mean, Chat GDP, for instance, that's an AI chat bot, and that son of a gun knows the whole internet. Honestly, I mean, it's in itself a brain. I mean, it knows it all almost. I ain't gonna say it knows everything, but still, the dead internet theory has a very strong. That theory is strong. That's a very strong theory, simply because of the reality of the internet at its current state, with like you said, with all the bots and the AI generated content you see. I mean, a lot of like Google Images is saturated with so much fake content. You can't even go there to look for. I mean, you can go and about find exactly what you're looking for, yes, but most of the time it's going to be generated content.
Yeah, and it makes sense that the government would want to manipulate.
Well, AI is very good at manipulating because that's why they use it for advertising. That's why I said what I said earlier. AI is literally in your own home. It's actually right in front of you. Our computers, our phones. You won't be long before you have AIs and freaking vapes, man. I mean, you already got Bluetooth in some of them. Wireless connectivity to a freaking vape. Why? Are you turning a smokable device into a? I mean, what
guess it's
are you
convenient.
trying to do?
I guess it's more convenient. I guess that's what they're trying to. That's what AI is for. It's just a convenient
AI
tool.
is. I mean, I'm actually really glad we brought the AI topic up. I mean, this topic right here, in my opinion, is current
Radical.
situation. It's a radical topic. Current situation. It involves everyone. Every individual on the planet Earth is involved with AI simply because of how mainstream it is. You turn on the television, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see something on that television that was AI generated. 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear something that was AI generated. We don't know what's real and what isn't real anymore, and that type of ideology, that type of dystopian society is literally what we're living in now. The fake news. Fake news just recently showed up within the past 5-10 years. Back then,
that we know of.
No, yeah, that we know of. I mean, propaganda has been around. I mean, come on, Soviet Union, Nazis, propaganda has been around for years. Fake news has been around for centuries.
But they weren't but all right, so the Nazi propaganda, they weren't passing that off as, you know, and it wasn't, they weren't passing that off to their, you know, I guess what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to compare the Nazi propaganda to legacy media now. We've seen time and time again, you know, even Zuckerberg issued an apology.
Yeah, he did.
Apolo-
He sure did. For
apologize for censoring Americans.
Yeah, for manipulating the
vaccine.
Yeah, for the coronavirus. Yeah.
And as these things start coming to light, you're like, already knew about that. So people are waking up, and I'm glad that they are.
Yeah, society
But
is woke, as they say.
But that kind of leads you. What else have they lied about?
Well, and
who are they answering to?
We're now in the woke society. I mean, you have people questioning everything. They question what they see on TV. They question what they read about on social media. They question, I mean, they question their neighbors. They question their own local governments. I mean, the deep state is very clearly visible.
And they're very active.
It's very active. They're no longer in the shadows. The deep state has been exposed. And with AI now so mainstream, the deep state uses this AI. They like with Zuckerberg and the Facebook incident. Facebook has its own AI. The Meta AI.
Right.
Who knows what that was used for? I'm sure it was used for a lot of this. I mean, AI is just very convenient. Is the reason why it's so mainstream. It's the convenience of it. The fact that you can just type a few words and say a few words, and it gives you a whole script. It gives you a whole video. I mean,
and it's so easily accessible. You can make your own AI right now, straight from the command line.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, AI is the average individual can create something, and if it was to go viral, and I mean, who knows what damage can be done by this AI generated content, this fake news, this fake content that isn't real, that it was generated out of. It makes you wonder where it's coming.
Which kind of proves the dead internet theory, right?
Dead internet theory, and I mean, yeah, the internet, in my opinion, is dead. It's active, but it's dead. It's both.
There's definitely a line between real people and bots, and they're closing the gap, buddy. I will say that they're closing the gap.
AI is becoming almost indistinguishable from humans when it comes to generating content online. I mean, it's so much of a rabbit hole that could be jumped down with this. I mean, it can. And there's hours of content on AI that we can talk about. I mean, because AI goes deeper.
Yeah, in the future we'll definitely
we're gonna probably do some AI episodes, like maybe make a series out of it if we want to. I mean, we plan on releasing videos every Saturday morning around 10 a.m. We're going to be releasing our podcast, so be expecting.
Every week.
We will
one a week.
Yeah, one
maybe
a week.
more. 1 a week from now, maybe
Yeah,
more. If
we
if
so
it
far
picks up.
just one episode a week. I mean, this episode was we originally were just going to do 30 minutes, and we're almost at an hour. So
I think
I
it's a good
mean,
for that time of year.
yeah, it's good content. I mean, we ain't even got to stop now. We can keep going. I mean,
Well,
no big deal.
just for time's sake, and I know people don't really retain knowledge of its in long format.
Well, unless they get into it.
But in the future, we do want to bring guests on that are maybe more knowledgeable. We can ask questions. We can learn together. Maybe debate some people. Who knows?
Yeah, I
Who knows?
mean, the info drop. I mean, we're trying to provide knowledge for your mind. And this, I mean, like I said, we have our opinions and we have fact. We discuss both.
Yep, you get a mix of both.
Yeah,
Me and him.
not everything we discuss is true. I mean, or factual. We are simply delving into the conspiracies of the world. The
And me and him don't agree on things either. So, you get
Yeah.
to see a combative, you know,
if we come to that,
standpoint.
yeah, everybody's got their own opinions, their own ideals, their own view of the world. But
Right.
but anyways, so anybody who's watched it this far, we sure appreciate it. I mean, I don't expect a lot of people to really watch it, but who knows? We're just,
For
me
the sake
and,
of
I mean, yeah,
We're gonna keep doing these just because I like the discussion. They're very fun.
yeah, very open-minded discussions. That's what we are. That's what we're doing. We're having open-minded discussions on various topics. I mean, we'll bring up these topics in future episodes as well. We're not done talking about it. There's so much content, or so not just content. There's so much knowledge out there that has, well, like you were saying, that was lost from years ago. And
we're gonna unravel all of that.
yeah, I want to see if we can maybe rediscover some of this knowledge. Like maybe
We will.
come to a conclusion, bring more minds together. With guests and stuff. Yeah.
Or bust myths. If I see some Aristotle proved, and I'm like, well, this wasn't right. We won't hesitate to say that.
Yeah, we'll try to try to play Mythbuster on some of the myths that are out there. I mean, there's so much out there to talk about, so much that we would like to talk about with y'all, the viewers. So if anybody watching this, if you want to join, just send us a message on any of our social links here. We're very responsive.
Drop your suggestions down below as well, because
Yeah, leave a comment
there's
on
a
any
topic.
top. Yeah, if any topics you want to talk about, feel free to let us know.
I will do extensive research. I'm talking that'll span over a couple of days on the topic, and then we'll come together on a Friday and we'll discuss it for sure.
Yeah, we right now are currently recording our shows on Fridays and premiering them Saturday mornings. But when we do our live shows, we'll probably end up doing them live on Fridays. To be honest, because it works for everybody.
And then we'll also re-upload the VOD in case you missed it. In case you missed the live.
Oh yeah, I mean all live shows are gonna be uploaded to our YouTube account or to our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page and our X profile.
TikToks.
Yeah, even the TikTok. We have a TikTok where you can find some interesting knowledge there.
And we'll probably post more shorter videos on TikTok for sure. I'm not sure what George wants to do with that.
I might jump on, make a quick clip about some knowledge or something. If I see anything that's, worth making a short over, I'll definitely do that. You can do, he will do the same. I mean,
we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. Our goal is to provide pure knowledge for your mind. That's our slogan. It's the info drop. We're providing a drop of info to you.
Right. Well.
Anyway, so I think we're gonna wrap this podcast up.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Definitely fun.
I'm sure. I hope y'all learned a thing or two from our conversation.
We're only
And-
gonna get better from here. This is
Yeah,
episode 1.
this is just episode 1. It's only gonna get better from here.
Yep.
Oh, anyways, till next time, I am Sarge,
I'm Davo.
and this is the
Yeah.
Info Drop Show. Pure knowledge for your mind. Take care, guys.